Welcome to Queer Next, the podcast that puts the yeehaw in y'all means all. I'm your host, Beck.
And I am your host, Dash. Welcome to today's episode. Did you ever check your mail?
I still have not checked my mail. No, it has been so hot. I'm so bad at it. I'm telling you, stuff sits there for they get so mad at us at the post office. I've got 2 cases of Red Bull sitting at the post office waiting on me.
Oh my God. Have you ever gotten a note, a passive aggressive note or?
Yes.
Aggressive.
Yeah, because we take up not only our mail, because our mailbox is only that big, right? It's only so tall because it's in a bay it's like a mailbox farm, And so we always have a package in one of the package containers. So we take it up forever. And I think that's why they get mad at us, because there's only so many package containers. So, oh well, I don't care.
Leaving your laundry in the dryer for a whole weekend in the dorms.
They should have made one closer. They shouldn't have made just one bay. They should have made 2. And the issue with my Red Bull is that I order them from Amazon and I specifically do it next day delivery on a Tuesday so that they won't send it the postal service. But for whatever reason, the last 2 shipments, they have decided to send it postal service anyway. And because we're in this big complex, the post office won't deliver it to my door. So they bring it to the complex and it goes straight back to the post office and it sits there till I go and pick it up, which is a pain because Shanna works all day, every day. And when am I supposed to get to the freaking post office? It's ridiculous. Yeah. That's my minor gripe for the day. But if that's all that's wrong in my life, I'm here for it.
Our post office here is open. I think it's 8 to 1 p.m.
Wow, that's even worse than the Waterville post office.
This place, man, I told you yesterday. So, okay, it's 4th of July. Happy 4th of America Day, everybody, or whatever.
Happy birthday, America.
Happy 250th.
Doesn't look a day over 219.
Doesn't look a day over 1950. We wish we could be happier for you, but we're just not. We'll try again next time in America.
Yeah. I wish I could enjoy the fireworks because I have an anxious chihuahua, so we can't even enjoy the fireworks without, really medicating her. So they started with the fireworks last night and it was uncalled for. So I just can't wait for the fireworks to be done. I used to love them, but with a noisy chihuahua, it's just impossible.
Yeah. They started here yesterday. They're having their little street party. Remember the one they had last year? Yeah. They have it every year. Which is why yesterday when I tried to go get my medicine, the pharmacy was closed and they don't have weekend hours. They don't have any, if you didn't get your medication, you are fucked. And it's a weekend. And I'm I don't even trust that you're going to be open on Monday,
right? Considering
how y'all are. And I was completely out of my metformin. So I was like, this is going to be an uncomfortable weekend.
Next time, call me. I keep jugs of it.
I called my old pharmacy up in the next town over and they're like, no, we've never filled that for you. So we can't just hand you pills. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And they were like, can you call your doctor? And I was like, well, the clinic's closed too. So if you need to go to the doctor. So I called the hospital. The ER was open. And they were like, who's your doctor? And I told her and she goes, let me see if she'll pick up the phone. So she called my poor doctor off of the clock and asked her to put in a prescription for me at a different pharmacy that was actually open. And so that took the entire day yesterday to get my fucking medication so that I can have a weekend without feeling like garbage.
Yeah. And that's the least sexy medicine there is, to even need something like that. Just freaking metformin. I've got 3, the giant tall pill bottles that come with 180 in it or whatever. I've got 3 of those of metformin in my medicine box. So they just keep refilling it, and that's how much extra I have.
Wow.
I did get some Adderall this week though, so.
Ooh. Let's be productive.
It's the non-extended release one. I did get it, so I haven't got the extended release yet though. So.
Yeah, I don't have mine either. They said maybe they'll have it next week. What's going on, you guys? I mean, of all the shortages to go around out there right now, I guess Adderall's not the worst. They're fucking short on... They've got rolling power outages and stuff in northern Kentucky and water shortages from data centers. The world is ending, you guys.
I read an article yesterday that they have figured out how to desalinate water cheaper than it is to bottle it, the fresh water. So there might be some changes coming to that. The use of our water might not be an issue for much longer. We can hope.
Yeah. I mean, we've solved that issue several times now and just never actually put it to use where it will help people. The same thing with energy.
Well, it was always too expensive.
Yeah, it was expensive. What was the name of that power source?
Rue's just watching you.
Hi, Rue. High yield beta fusion. Allegedly, they had created that, and everybody kept saying like, "Oh, it's going to change energy or whatever," and then like nothing happened for 10 years. And I was like, I don't even care if you made it, because I'm not in a position to be excited for breakthroughs right now. Like, I need you to make things better or shut up about it.
Yeah.
Like, you could go to Mars tomorrow, and I'd be like, great, bring back something useful. We'll be excited later when everybody is okay. Hi, Ziggy.
Yeah, I feel that in my soul. I am not really proud to be an American these days.
It's tough. Well, and this, I guess, segues us into, we landed on the wheel of what have you on social media. Hooray! That's going to mean whatever we feel like it means. We'll loosely talk about social media. But the World Cup is, I guess, still happening. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like 3 weeks long or something.
Yeah, and that's cool. And there's all kinds of different versions of it to engage with online on social media, like seeing, like we talked about, Europeans experiencing America for the first time, or South Americans experiencing North America for the first time. Cool things like that. But one thing that happened was a lot of Americans realized that we have a men's soccer team. And on TikTok, especially, Europeans, Brits, and Aussies, where they were trying to shit talk, they were like, oh, America thinks they're going to win this just because they have a home field advantage. And we were all like, we're in the World Cup? Who was going to tell us? Like, what's our mascot? Like, we like the bits about like us not even realizing we were playing in this. Like, I saw people saying like, yeah, I just thought we were having company over. Like, how does scoring work? Like, and then the U.S. like beat a couple. I think they beat Australia. Like they won a couple of key games. And in people's comments, like of like an Australian, there was one guy in particular who was a shitster in this. They were like, yeah, we got 2 kickdowns on the home piece. Really, I don't know. He started it. He was like, America thinks they're going to win or whatever. And it's like, we did win. We just don't really, we care less about that than you do. But and so somebody started talking about that. They were like, y'all didn't care about this like a week ago. And now you're all in my mentions talking about the World Cup. And somebody said, and they put it in quotation marks, which I think means that they're quoting somebody else, but they didn't attribute it. I'll see if I can figure out who said it. But they said, America's favorite sport is competition.
That's a great one.
Isn't it? It's so true. Like, we don't care what it is. It can be as dumb as hell, but we're going to be the dumbest.
I saw a meme once about the pandemic that if we made it like state versus state with a reward, like everybody gets free Taco Bell at the end if you have the lowest transmission rate or something. People would have been shaming the non-mask wearers left and right if Taco Bell was on the line, like that they should have taken up that model. I know I would have shamed somebody for a taco. Did you see that Taco Bell is bringing back the chili cheese burrito nationwide?
Nope.
They are. They've had them here in my area for a long time. I got them until I was sick of them, and now they're on the app. You can get them anywhere.
Ah.
Have you ever had a chili cheese burrito from Taco Bell?
I haven't. There is a Taco Bell over in the town I go to my boxing class in. You said it's called a chili cheese burrito?
Yeah. I get it with a side of sour cream and some nachos.
I was about to say, like, it's going to need to be cut with something. I'm sure they would.
Yeah, you can add rice. You can add tomatoes. You can add whatever you want. But I just eat it. I get a side of chips. So at Taco Bell, here's a cheat in life that you can attribute to me. If you buy chips and cheese at Taco Bell, it's like $2.99. But if you buy just chips, no cheese, it's 75 cents. And then you can get a side of cheese for like 50 cents. So if you get them both as sides, you can get it a lot cheaper. But because I don't like the cheese at Taco Bell, so I just get the chips and eat it with sour cream. 5 stars.
I think there's all kinds of cases of that. Like the combo actually costs you more money instead of saving you money. Ziggy, hush, honey. You got enough airtime last week. So I tried to look it up, and the quote, "America's favorite sport is competition," is a meme. It's a social media. It originated somewhere on TikTok, likely, but nobody knows who said it first. That's one of the most interesting, but also kind of horrifying things about social media is it transmits ideas, information, whatever, so quickly that we don't have time to trace its source. It has sped up the creation and dissemination of culture to a point that it's not easy to be aware of what we're talking about came from.
Yeah, memes are their own language at this point. Like, there's so much context that you have to have, and like to understand. Like, you would have had to have been on the internet for like 100 years at this point to really understand meme speak. In my opinion, there's a lot,
especially like the image macros, like the version of meme that most people are familiar with just like the image and some sort of text on it.
Yeah.
Like with a lot of words that become part of culture's way of understanding itself, meme existed before the internet. Sort of like, whenever we take something and use it as a metaphor, like we did with patriarchy or rape or power, its new metaphorical definition becomes the real definition to us. And we kind of like forget the and that's not, I'm not trying to get off your lawn about it because it really doesn't matter, but meme is short for my meme. They've been around since, well, first of all, my meme is just like how information is transmitted. I bet Richard Dawkins is actually insufferable about this right now because he coined the term, the idea that there's a cultural version of a gene that transmits heritable knowledge in a cultural way. The selfish gene, I think, is where he talks about it. But even before the internet, people were doing things like with graffiti. Graffiti is a good example of places we've seen like memes outside of the internet. Did you ever hear about that one, Kilroy was here?
Yeah, from the U.S. Army.
Yeah, that was one. Frodo lives is another one. People would put that in the subway. When
I worked at Bingo, there was a couple of old men that would bring folded up pieces of paper with memes printed on them, like jokes or whatever, and they would physically hand them around and people would look at them and laugh. Like that was right before the internet became, I remember several of those. They were usually dirty in nature.
I wonder where they got them. Where did you go for your memes? I was on Cheeseburger.
Oh, Lord. Probably just Facebook. I follow a lot of meme dumping pages that offer, like there's this one, she offers 42 memes every day and they're always new and always, yeah. So that's where I get most of my memes is through those meme aggregation pages. I use Facebook a lot. I'm old.
It's just so ingrained.
Yeah.
The first internet meme, viral internet meme, 4chan invented them in the West anyway. Western internet memes, they came from 4chan. A lot of things did, actually. People don't really know how much of our culture actually just came from 4chan. And there's reasons for that too. It was a place where the interactive web, like it was like at the beginning of Web 2.0, and it was an image board. So people could get on there and interact in a way that they hadn't been able to. It was sort of like right before social media. But the first viral internet meme to break containment on 4chan was Rickrolling. Did anybody ever get you with Rickrolling?
No, but I have Rickrolled a few times in my day. Like on Canvas, like in a class, like one semester I posted final exam answers. And it was just a link. And if you clicked it on it, took you to a Rickroll. It took you to the thing. That was one of my favorite ones. Awesome. Somebody was like, you got me. And I was like, why would I post final answers? Duh. Like, use your brain, idiots.
It's worth checking. You found them on Canvas before, so.
True that.
I found out about it because somebody asked me, Vanessa actually asked me, she texted me, have you heard of Rickrolling? And I was like, no. This was 2007, I think. I think maybe a lot of people heard about it before it happened to them. I don't know. But there were all kinds of those. Like the first viral internet memes were kind of bait and clicks, like lemonparty.org.
Jumping scares.
Yeah, scares. A lot of them were really horrifying. Like lemonparty.org. Yeah. Nobody Googled it. I'm going to have to bleep that out. and much, much worse. But that's kind of like the internet would do that. That's the natural progression of what the internet would do.
Do you remember rotten.com?
Yeah.
That was one of my first experiences online, was watching a snuff film on rotten.com.
Damn.
Because they didn't try to hide that shit or anything. You just clicked and there it was.
No, that was the point.
I saw Tupac's autopsy pictures.
Yeah. I'd forgotten about Rotten.
And E-Bomb's World.
Yeah, E-Bomb's World was good too. Like that had some funny stuff on it too. I like I said, I was on Cheeseburger a lot. That is where I saw the picture you took.
Oh yeah?
Long before we met. Yeah.
That's so cool.
The
Burger King. Try our new anus burger. I was lucky that I had my good camera with me too, because that was before cell phones could take good pictures. And I was on my way to somewhere in Huntington, and it was the one on the West End. And I just pulled in their parking lot and snapped the picture and drove off. It was funny. I did call them to tell them, though. I'm a spoil sport, I guess. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if it was my Burger King, I would want to know that was out there. It was inappropriate. I don't know if they believed me or not, but...
Which that was kind of social media. Like people were commenting on it. You weren't really making friends. So the image boards, they weren't really designed to make relationships that lasted beyond the interaction. So that was definitely Web 2.0 because people were interacting in like comment sections and stuff. But 4chan's anonymous, and Cheeseburger, like you had a name, you could have a screen name, but nobody remembered anybody else.
One interesting thing, I think, for me anyway, is that when the Web 2.0 was really becoming a thing, that's when I was working at Amazon.com. And I got to see Amazon really morph from a bookstore into what it has become today. That was before they had Super Saver shipping. That was before they had Prime. Like they got Prime in like 2006, 2007, I think. And I've had Prime since it started. I've been an Amazon junkie for a long time now. Because I saw how it worked, and they made their employees like owners. They gave you vested stock and things like that. They made you feel like you were part of the company. But it was really interesting to see the internet alive and well and how it was being transformed and the way people were using it. Because I had if you weren't on a call or working on an email, you had unfettered access to the internet. You could basically do whatever you wanted as long as the calls were not in queue and there were no emails waiting in queue. And I did not have high-speed internet at home, so it was, I did a lot of searching on Amazon's dime. Amazon has something called Gold Star customers.
Okay, what's that?
Like they pick particular customers and put a literal gold star on their account. Like a customer service puts in your email address and your account pops up right beside your name. There's a gold star. And that means basically customer service is supposed to treat you like royalty, give you whatever you want, whatever you need, fix the problem, no matter how big it is. Just make sure they continue to be a customer. And I think we have become a gold star customer because we've been shopping under the same account for so long. And we use Amazon like it's a pantry,
There's a reason it has taken hold the way it has.
I haven't been in a literal store like a Target or a Walmart or a Kroger. I've been in Kroger once in the last 5 years, and that's the only store I've been in. I just don't go shopping anymore. Amazon has it.
They don't have them here. If it wasn't for online shopping, I literally wouldn't get the things I needed.
Hi, Peta. But yeah, what version of what 0 would you say we're at now?
Well, we're still in Web 2.0. Like the internet's not progressing. In fact, it's we're using less and less of it. We don't use the internet anymore. Most people use an application that uses the internet for them. We've learned less about how coding works. So we sort of passed on our opportunity to become part of it. By we, I mean the average person. And it wasn't that the choice wasn't obvious. It wasn't being made clear to us that we were saying no to that. It was companies wanted to own the access so that they could charge us for it. So Think about how you interact with the internet the most often. For me, it's probably through my TV or my phone, and everything has an algorithm. Of course, there always already were algorithms. What would be Web 3.0?
Well, what makes Web 2.0 Web 2.0?
Interactivity. The static web is what it was called in the old days. So like the early days of the internet were just websites and people could visit and read them. And the capability for building in opportunities for people who visited the website to engage with each other just wasn't really there yet. So Web 2.0 was the advent of something like a blog or a comment section or social media. MySpace, the increased access to chat rooms, stuff like that. It was sort of like the editable web. And we used that to interact more. And also more people could make their own websites. So something like, do you remember GeoCities? There were ways for people who weren't formally trained in computers and whatnot to still be a part of it. But that also became a piece of the kind of proxy access. You were one step removed if you used something like GeoCities to create your website.
Right.
So Google AI says a defining element of Web 3.0 would be decentralization, moving away from reliance on massive tech monopolies like Google, Amazon, and Meta toward decentralized applications and peer-to-peer networks. Yeah, using blockchain technology. So basically, it would require us to completely reverse course and begin to learn how shit works again. I don't know how likely we are to do that. I just bored myself talking about, and it shouldn't be like that. We should be excited to have the opportunity to learn stuff, but everything is so goddamn hard right now. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
Until we become a society that can feed and house everybody, I think we're going to be in Web 2.0.
Oh, we could, but we just don't.
Right. That's been the case since the 70s. We've been able to feed twice the amount of people that live on planet Earth since whenever it was Norman Borlaug diversified the wheat down in Mexico. I'm not going to Google that. Nobody cares. I really need some ADHD medicine.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun podcast.
It's going to be a nightmare to edit. You sent me this page, Facebook page. You're from Portsmouth, Ohio.
Yes.
And I've just been kind of scrolling through, and this one post made me laugh because it just says, I went from 1st through 5th grade at Highland Elementary, 1940 to 1945.
That was also the elementary school that I went to, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah, there were 5 elementary schools in Portsmouth, and that's just the one that I also went to from kindergarten through 5th grade. So the thing about the Portsmouth, Ohio, the name of the site is you are from Portsmouth, Ohio, if. And when this group was originally created, that kind of page, that format was everywhere. It was kind of based on the joke, you're from Ohio, if, and then insert, funny line or whatever. But this page kind of evolved and became in a county where there is no historical society. This has really become the public history dispo for the Scioto County area. You can find thousands of pictures of everything from old car shows to old buildings to old families to old festivals to old businesses to, you name it, and it's in there. Every once in a while, they'll publish Valley class of 1982, the seniors, right? And so you get to see all the seniors from that class of 1982, and then they'll do New Boston, 1995, and then they'll do West Portsmouth 1937, and they just pick random years, and you get to see the yearbook pictures of all of those. And it has 24,000 members, which isn't a whole lot when it comes to, big pages or whatever. But I think that this page does a really good job of being a public history portal for people that don't have any other way to experience that kind of thing. Portsmouth is really the kind of place where you grow up there and you leave if you want any kind of opportunity. So a lot of people feel nostalgic about the area and, it's from their childhood. I think it's important because it allows people to to explore those avenues and to make old friends again. There's all kinds of times. So like this lady that posted the one that you said, she said, I lived in Portsmouth on Park Avenue in the early 40s, went to Highland Elementary. And then there's a person in the comments that said, put their address, went to Highland School, had the same 10 teachers you mentioned at Highland, graduated class of 1961. And then the next one is, I also went to Highland. Miss Prey was my first grade teacher. And I remember blah, blah, blah. I graduated in 1957. So it really is just a good place for people to come back and explore public history in a way that I think is very 21st century. There was never anything like this before. When I was doing my research for my master's program, I contacted the library to find out what kind of resources they had about Black history. And they basically had a folder on a shelf. And that was pretty much it. And since I found this page, some of the Black residents have shared different things. And I have gotten more Black history from this page than I got from the actual library doing research. So, there's a lot of good ways for this to be used. And people just kind of, offhandedly think it's garbage or nonsense or whatever. But it's a really important site of public history. And I'm glad that it exists.
I'm reading a post right now about the tunnels. There was a tunnel built to help the post office move mail more easily or whatever. But somebody who may be related to you
it's possible,
said, my dad, Reginald Jenkins, used to work at post office back in the day, and he took me a walk through the tunnel when I was a teenager.
If they're a Jenkins, a Montgomery, a Phipps, or a Crabtree in Scioto County, I am absolutely related to them. So I'm sure that is one of my cousins.
Just scrolling through, and I see the pictures, like the historical pictures. It was an old Greyhound bus station there.
Yeah. It was really dilapidated by the time I got to be allowed to drive around town, but it looked really fancy. And it's on the murals. If you ever get a chance to go to Portsmouth, Ohio, make sure you check out the flood wall murals. They're the crown jewel in the Portsmouth public history scenario there. It's basically 2,000 feet of mural space, and it covers the history from the Native Americans that were settled there, and when the French came in and settled the area, all the way up to the new bridge they just built. And it covers all kinds of different pieces of history, and the Greyhound station is one of the murals, and it looks really neat. They had like an Art Deco section. There was a lot of Art Deco design in Portsmouth in the 40s and 50s when it was really in its heyday.
Yeah, I could spend a lot of time scrolling through here.
One time somebody commented they worked at Kmart in the late 80s. And I was like, oh, my aunt worked there. And they were like, who was your aunt? And I said her name. And they were like, I loved her. And that was just amazing because, she's been dead for many years. And she was like one of my favorite people in the whole world. And it was just good to find somebody that remembered her for being awesome, Yeah.
And that's, at its heart, the thing that social media should do, the thing that if it does it well, then that's great. It's like, give us those connections.
Mm-hmm. I sent you a second page, which is called The Nosy Asses of Toledo, Ohio. And so on the surface, this has kind of the same job that the Portsmouth page has, but it is much more ornery.
Been interpreted differently.
Very, very, very differently. It's also got a lot of current events things that are happening. Like, for example, one day there were two people arguing about something on the page, and the next day came the mugshots because they took it offline. That totally happened on the Nosy Asses page. There, the guy, the drag queen that was running for Congress from around here.
Yeah.
He got into a fight with a girl at a BP. He apparently stole her spot. Like they were busy.
Yeah. You told us that story. I didn't know it was the same person.
Yeah. So he stole her spot. And so long story short, she ended up macing him, pepper spraying him in the eyes. And they played the whole argument out on this Nosy Asses of Toledo page, which is where I even heard of this guy for the first time, because it was such a thing. There'll be posts like, if you were the motherfucker driving the red van on Secor Avenue at 3:45 today, you better learn how to drive, stupid stuff like that, which I agree. Toledo could learn to drive a lot. There are some bad drivers in Toledo. Like, I've seen people use the berm just to get around somebody. It's wild, the things I have seen in Toledo. But I find it interesting because it's the same basic idea, like a repository of human interests from a particular area, but it's a very, like you said, a very different interpretation of how that data is used. So the Portsmouth page, I think, is being used for good, and I think the Nosy Asses of Toledo page is being used for evil, well, for hilarious evil sometimes, but definitely not being used for the betterment of man. And it's got 70,000 members.
Yeah, man, Facebook is wild. Did you have MySpace first or Facebook?
Yes, MySpace. That was one of the things I did on the Amazon time.
Is MySpace still a thing?
It is, and you can even still sign into your account, but everything is gone.
MySpace.com. Oh my God, this still exists?
Yep.
It looks sketchy as hell.
Yeah.
It actually looks a little bit like Pinterest, but for music and stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to look at that. That makes me sad. Well, the social media I spend the most time on is TikTok, which is interesting. It's really got its claws in pretty much all of us. There are times when I'm like, this is dreadful and I don't know why I'm doing this. And so I avoid it because I don't want to take the time to figure out how to control my algorithm. So if it's not what I want to see, I just don't log on for a while. But sometimes it has the most beautiful, random shit that I'm like, what gave you this idea? Like, how did you even come up with this brilliance? And so this little thing here is one of them. Like, when I saw this, I was like, this is so goddamn funny. I don't even know who I need to tell somebody about this. You see the screen?
Yes.
This is if ABBA were sung by Australians.
In the firelight, Fernando, you are humming to yourself and softly strumming your guitar. I could hear the distant drums and sounds of bugle calls were coming from afar. They were closer now, Fernando. Every hour, every minute seemed to last eternally.
Eternally. Australian people aren't real. Nobody talks like that.
I've wondered that myself. Yeah, I've wondered that myself. That's hilarious. It sounds like Muriel's wedding all over again. Fernando. Are you not worried that the Chinese government is learning all of your algorithm stuff?
Yeah. I mean, every application on my phone is mining my data. I trust the Chinese with it more than Mark Zuckerberg.
True that, homie.
You know?
At least the Chinese are human.
Well, and they can't, what are they going to do to me, right? They're over there. This dude is influencing our government. And maybe they are too. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. But like fucking these techno bros, Bezos and Zuckerberg, they're literally running our country. And it's not going well. Like they're killing people. So, and that's the reason why I'll be like, every so often I'll be like, oh, I'm going to get off of Facebook because I have this feeling of being watched and I don't like it. But then I move somewhere that's the middle of nowhere where I have to buy shit off of Facebook Marketplace because there's no, pawn stores or whatever.
Yeah. I've gotten ripped off so many times on Marketplace. It's ridiculous. Like one time we bought a Wii and they gave us a bunch of games and everything, but the Wii didn't work. It was bullshit.
And it's not like you can like check it in the parking lot wherever you meet.
Exactly.
Speaking of Facebook Marketplace, I found this video of this woman talking about Appalachian Facebook Marketplace.
You always tell me, oh, go on Facebook Marketplace. I got this from Facebook Marketplace. I live in remote Appalachia, and I need you to see what the fuck our Facebook Marketplace looks like. Starting off extremely fucking strong, we have a bucket toilet with chips. I just want you to know, that's a 35-gallon bucket. Imagine how much piss and shit can go in that. I'm out. Next up, we have a solid oak Bigfoot. $100. A personal favorite, a prison jail toilet.
Prison
What are people
jail.
doing with this? This is what remote Appalachia gets you. This one is crazy. It's an electric toilet racer. Okay.
Why is everything toilets?
So the guy says, cleaned out my garage, got it from a guy who ran the old skating rink. He sold it, kept some of his rental toilets. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. This one's soft, no big deal, it's just some old fucking signs, which why the fuck would you need these, but okay. A human spinal and pelvis study aid. And a free mobile home in great condition, I will note.
Free mobile
So next time
home.
you want to tell me to go look on Facebook Marketplace, please remember the prison toilet. Or the bucket toilet. Or the toilet racer.
Why are there so many alternative pooping methods?
There's another one here of like old Appalachia baby names from the cemeteries. We don't need to watch that
Ooh.
one. I mean, we can watch it, but I might not put it in the episode, but I will link it in the description. Last thing, I saved a bunch of these because they all make me laugh so much, is the Sinister Pond Babe. She just does the Google Maps readings, but so she actually, I think she lives up there by you right now, but people have been sending her to parts of Appalachia. But because we were talking about Lima and what she says about it, this made me laugh.
Those Kewpie burgers have been everywhere.
Lima! No! Babe, nobody likes Lima. She's out in the forsaken part of Ohio, the western part. I've been all over this state, but I've never been over there. And nor do I want to. Well, that's a nice courthouse, though. But a lot of towns have nice... Well, okay, that's kind of nice, too. You know, old architecture. That's... Okay. I'm saying a nice old building from the 1800s. That's, you know, a little whimsical to me. Oh, but, you know, it's touch and go, because... What's this so tall for? What do y'all think, you're a city or something? Parking garage for who? Who the fuck's going to Lima? I don't know why y'all have all these tall buildings. I didn't think it was that big. What, fucking skyscrapers? What's this Kewpie hamburgers? Hold on. What? Wait a minute, like the little Kewpie dolls. That's kind of quirky, okay? Burgers, fries. Ordinarily, I wouldn't love this aesthetic, but it feels more authentic. Look at these. I kind of love these little naked dolls. They're cute and whimsical. Even the Mennonite bitches love it. I bet they do have a good burger. Yeah, Art Space of Lima. Hey, who the fuck y'all think y'all are? Although, look, you know, it is a reminder, in all these small towns across America, people are doing things. People are making art. Now, I feel bad. Old City Prom, $1,500? Babe, what's going on in Lima? Who even knew? Look, and this food looks good. Who the fuck's taking me here? I can't afford this. McDowell House, Victorian Mansion. Wait, now see how I'd sit in that window and just ponder. You know, that's what they did back in the day. In the 1800s, there wasn't else shit to do. You just sat around. Look at that desk. How gorgeous. They don't make nothing like that no more. You see, you could put all your little things in the compartments. The bed? This is my house. This where I belong. I just feel, you know, I'm in the wrong time period. And it's just, oh, look at a creepy basement, too. I love the Hollander on Main. Another 1,500. Fuck no, we're not doing this again. Y'all are getting Munchbox! Where are my lesbians? Hey, come to the front, cause would you munch this box, man? I bet you would. This looks good. You know, it's very dairy heavy. Ice creams and treats and things. What's this? Hold on, cause I smell something, bud. Something sinister this way comes. Hey, this my prison romance. Look at the barbed wire, babe. Look, Allen Oakwood Correctional Facility. Yeah, say our mains and nearby. And what's this? Some kind of big abandoned port? I wanna see this. I know y'all are exposing my man to asbestos and Lord knows what else. Moving on. What's Happy Day? Next to Burger King. What's this? Another $50 situation. Oh my, what the Furbies? And y'all dressed them up to take them out to lunch? This is so my vibe. I want to do this. Damn, now I need to get a fucking Furby again. And then look, y'all got another Kewpie burger. Y'all got two of these in the same town. I kind of want to go to Lima just for this. Look at this. Pretty and plump. I love her. This is speaking to me.
That's her whole channel, and I love it. She just
That was hilarious.
gone to...
They have Pikeville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Oh, one of these nights at about 12 o'clock, this whole world's gonna really rock. saints will tremble and cry in pain, and the Lord's gonna come in his heavenly airplane. I like to sing that on my front porch in the evening as a reminder that the world is ending. Now, we've been sent to eastern Kentucky, heart of Appalachia. I've never been to Pikeville, but I'm related to people from here. Y'all know the Howards. Look, now I like to see that they're celebrating their downtown. Y'all see how it's fixed up? How they're caring for it. This is kind of nice looking, ain't it? You'd expect it to all be crumbling and meth addicts and crackheads, but they're here. You lift up one of these cars, they're gonna scatter like roaches. But yeah, enjoy downtown, I'll save you seat. That looks like a drag queen, don't it? Are we getting LGBT in the Appalachian? That surprises me. What's Paris's place? Hey, I do like a panini. I like a squished, warm sandwich like that. Look at that pretzel. This looks good. What are those deep fried, Scotch eggs or something? I'd like to try those. Big Sandy Heritage. Who's Big Sandy? They didn't have to put her on blast like that. The building looks nice. Some kind of historic museum. I'm not riveted. They was getting kinky with handcuffs or something back then. That's a coal light, because that's all this party. Look, the coal miner's prayer. That's all the men have to do. They're down in their mines, and they still are to this day. You might think it's still the 1800s. They're coming out all sooty and shit. Okay, Hatfield and McCoy, don't get me started. Y'all know what this was? It was two white trash families that kept fighting, and they won't talk about it for hundreds of years, and that's all it was. You can drive anywhere down in them hollers right now, and you see people screaming at each other from their trailer parks. That's the same thing. Oh, Captain D's. Let's talk about some real culture. God, and it still looks the same, don't it? Same killer scheme. This is where, me and my family would go when it was gonna be a fancy dinner. In the 90s, oh God, the hush puppies. God, these were simpler times. The biggest scandal was the president getting a blowjob, and that was it. He wasn't fucking the whole country up like this one. What's over here? Peabody's boutique, little clothing store. Oh fuck. This some Appalachian lingerie with the trucks and the red lace. Okay, that gets the men's going. I don't know the direction of the store, if it's like for adult babies. Oh, it's lesbians. Dolly and Reba, yeah. The lesbians got their own rules, I don't know how they dress. Moving on. What else? Oh, Dave, a nail salon. I got something to say. I'm up here in some forsaken part of Ohio. I had to scour to find an Asian-owned and operated nail salon. You can always tell, because it's just like beauty nail or sexy nails, or diva nail, or just nails, they're real, to the point. Okay, none of these, Patty's artistic nail salon, no, because I know that's a Caucasian. See, I grew up, a very traditional way, and they were Asian nail salons, and that's what I'm comfortable with. That's the only ones I trust. They have perfected that craft. I do not want to sit in front of a white woman and make small talk. I just don't. And y'all go around say, they're talking about you in their language. I don't give a fuck. What's that my business? It's not. Look, if they want to call me a fat bitch in their own language to each other, okay, I'll never know. And I'm leaving with my nails, okay? That don't matter to me.
That's hilarious.
She's a treasure. I love her. If you don't already, go follow her, Sinister Pond Babe, on TikTok. I actually, just because of looking up these videos, I found out that she has a Facebook page too. So I followed her on Facebook. But that's one thing I like about the way social media has gone kind of more video and stuff, is getting to hear people talk, getting to hear the way people talk about things. That's come in really clutch lately. Well, I don't know. We could clearly do this forever, but maybe we should hear from this week's sponsor.
Sounds good.
So this episode of Queer Next is brought to you by Cutoff Jeans Shorts. Cutoff jean shorts are the highest rank a pair of jeans can achieve, earned through years of dependable service and repeated washing. There's a common misconception that people decide how long to make cutoffs. That has never been true. The denim decides. Every pair contains a heretofore unknown natural stopping point that one day reveals itself as a hole. The location of said hole decides what kind of garment you're about to witness the birth of. A hole at the knee produces a respectable church picnic length short. A hole above the knee suggests a hotter summer than expected. A catastrophic tear near the pocket creates a garment intended for mowing, porch sitting, and blessing the neighbors. The edges remain unfinished because nature rarely provides a clean line. The loose threads improve airflow and remind everyone that perfection is expensive. And every stain becomes part of the design. The paint, grease, berry juice, motor oil, and grass all age denim with bespoke dignity. It is everyday use couture. And no two pairs are alike because no two lives wear exactly the same. The late great J.R. Keith called his rattiest pair, when paired with some tennis shoes and half-calf gym socks, no shirt, and a trucker hat, his Superman outfit. With your attire in sport mode, you're capable of the impossible. The humble denim pants, a staple of rural working culture, enters its final Pokemon form and becomes invincible. And if you've been faithful along the ride, they'll take you with them. Cutoff jean shorts carry the memory of the jeans that came before them and optimism that gone is not always forgotten. Now back to Queer Necks, where we too are fraying but covering the important bits. I'm wearing my jean shorts today.
I don't even own a pair of jeans to have jean shorts. So couldn't tell you the last time I owned jeans. I've either got sweatpants or teacher pants.
I wore jeans to work this a whole past year. There's no like professionalism at the university I was working at, so everybody just some people wear shorts. So I'm like, wow.
There were some days I would wear my nice sweatpants under my sweaters and nobody knew the difference. So that's where I was last semester. It was sweatpants to campus kind of days.
Yeah. Athleisure.
I also did my entire undergraduate in my pajamas. I'm one of those people that wears their pajamas to Walmart, but I don't go to Walmart. I just like comfortable clothes. Jeans feel like a prison.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like ball shorts.
That's what I'm wearing right now is a pair of ball shorts.
Oh God. When I would be bloated or something from like my period, because I could gain 15, 20 pounds in a day from that. And it's like you start off the day and you're okay. And by the time you get home, you feel like a sausage roll. And then add wearing binders or something on top of it. Dreadful. Like I just longed for death by the time I got home some days. What are y'all going to do for the 4th? You going to go see any fireworks?
Probably not because of PETA. She does not do well with noisy situations and random bangs. We have, the doctor gave us a combination. It's a gabapentin and a trazodone that we give her. And we gave it to her the other night and we went to the drive-in movie and she was still barking. So I don't know. We'll see.
I saw on Facebook, Andy Bashir had his dog in, it was earmuffs. Yeah, like noise canceling earmuffs for dogs, I guess, which I don't know anything about. Do you know anything about?
No.
My thought was like, that can't be real. If it's a real thing, I mean, that's cool and stuff, but I'm just trying to imagine what PETA would do to you if you tried to put earmuffs on her.
I'd come back with some stubs instead of fingers.
You would only try one.
Because she bites.
Yeah.
When she doesn't want to do something, she's a biter. She doesn't have a lot of teeth left, so it doesn't hurt a whole lot, but she gets in there.
If there was some like remote location you could go and park at and still see them, but like not be close enough to freak her out.
That's a possibility, but it's also might rain tonight, so there's a chance for thunderstorms this evening. Didn't stop them last night, though. There were big, like, light up the room thunder booms.
I don't know. I sleep through stuff between not being able to hear and my CPAP machine. Like if the house was on fire, the heat would wake me up before anything else would. Like I would be like, whew, it's sweaty. Oh God, the house is on fire. We should get out.
It'd be the sprinklers in my apartment.
Oh, we don't have those.
We have a sprinkler system.
I don't even have smoke detectors, actually.
Oh my God, you need to fix that, friend.
I know. But so there might be some somewhere. I don't know. There's one right here and the battery was taken out of it and I didn't know why. And so when I moved in, I put it back in there. And then the first time I took a shower, it went off. And I was like, that's why the battery is taken out of it. The steam from the shower sets it off. So it's at a stupid spot. So I did buy some that I can put places that don't get steamy because there's one in the kitchen, but the kitchen doesn't have any ventilation. The whole house doesn't have any ventilation. And so the slightest smoke will set them off. So I've got to put them other places. And I've just been lazy.
Yeah, that's a problem in my apartment too. Doesn't even have to be smoky. It just has to be hot.
My mom used to say that my Aunt Jenny used the smoke detectors as like the cooking timer. That's mean.
Yeah.
But she also did.
Well, there's that.
Did you bring a noun of Appalachian interest?
I did. A very regional one today. Let me pull it up here. Something that I love very much. All right, this week's noun of Appalachian interest is Heiners bread. Now, we're not talking about the kind of bread that comes in a paper sleeve and acts like it spent a semester abroad. We're talking about Heiners, which comes in the classic red bag and is soft as a cloud. It's made for sandwiches, just like lunchboxes intended. Heiners comes from Huntington, West Virginia, where Charles and Kate Heiner started baking bread in 1905. That means this bread has been feeding people for over a century, which is a long time for anything to survive, especially something that usually ends up with peanut butter stuck to it. And that's part of what makes Heiners special. It's not a fancy bread. It never needed to be. Heiners know what it came here to do, and it came here to hold fried bologna. It came here to become grilled cheese. It came here to wrap itself around a juicy tomato slice in July and risk it all, knowing that bread will hold up to the meal. There is something very Appalachian about a thing that does its job without asking for applause. Heiners just sits there in the bread aisle, soft and dependable, waiting to go home with somebody who already knows exactly what kind of sandwich they are going to make. Fun fact, I lived down the street from Heiners Bakery in the late 90s and the early 2000s, and the smell when they were baking must be what you smell when you get to heaven. It was otherworldly. For people in West Virginia, Southern Ohio, Eastern Kentucky, and all the places close enough to feel connected, Heiners is one of those grocery store names that sneaks up on you. You may not think about it much when you see it every week, but let somebody move away and come back home for a visit. Suddenly, that bread bag looks like a childhood. It looks like lunches packed before school and somebody standing in the kitchen making food for people who needed to get out the door. I know I've purchased endless bags of it at the Briar Patch on trips to see my mom. Heiners was family owned for many years before it was sold in the 1990s. After that, it passed through bigger companies because that is what happens. But folks still call it Heiners because that's what it is to them. And you can change the business papers, but you cannot change what something means in a kitchen. Heiners will always taste like my mom's cooking. So this week we honor Heiners bread, the soft sandwich bread that never needed to be anything else. May your loaf be fresh, your sandwich holds together, and your tomato behaves itself for once. And if you see Heiners in the store, go ahead and get yourself a loaf or 3, and then squeeze that little bag there a little. You were going to anyway. Someone send me some already. I've become a northern heathen and eat wheat bread now. Heiners would be so disappointed.
Yeah, they don't. Well, it's not that they don't have this where I grew up, but this wasn't really a thing. It was probably there, but I don't remember,
Yeah, the Heiners old fashioned bread was like the staple. And then in the 90s, in the diet craze, they came out with Heiners 35, which was just very thinly sliced bread. It was the exact same bread, just super thinly sliced. They had a 35 calories for you. Like they had a whole little jingle and everything that still lives in my head rent free.
Yeah, I see a picture of it here.
But like I said, I lived a few blocks down from it, and oh my God, the smell was amazing. Just industrial bread baking. Oh, what I would have given for a fresh hot loaf off the line. They used to give tours where they did that at the end, and they stopped doing them before I moved to West Virginia. So I missed that entirely.
And Huntington, I mean, makes quite a few food things. West Virginia in general.
Yeah, for sure. Huntington is more in the game than people like to give it credit for.
Mm-hmm.
Most people have a cousin somewhere near Huntington, too, I've learned.
It is the 6th degree.
My favorite is, you're from West Virginia? I have a cousin from Richmond.
Right.
Richmond is in Virginia.
The Sinister Pond Babe actually has a video on, is it Huntington Beach?
There's Virginia Beach.
Yeah, maybe it was Virginia Beach. And she's like, why the fuck would anybody go to Virginia Beach?
My nephew lives there, which I still don't know why. He doesn't have any family down there or anything, but he likes it, so.
Who knows why we wind up where we do.
His only option otherwise is to move back to Portsmouth. Well, nobody wants him to move back to Portsmouth because there's just no opportunity. Like, he can get different jobs there. He can work at FedEx. He can work at Kroger. He can work at Chipotle. He can work at the gun range. He can work as a security guard. There's all kinds of work for him there. In Portsmouth, there would be nothing for him. Taco Bell drive-thrus and pizza delivery would really be about it. And he shouldn't be driving. God, I hope he doesn't hear that, but he should not be driving. Can't believe somebody gave him a license, to be honest with you.
As we've learned, They kind of give those away. You know, it's harder to do the fucking paperwork than it is to pass the test.
Yeah, for real.
When I was studying for the Minnesota one, though, because I thought they were going to make me retake the test when I moved here, because they said they did. They said even if you have a license, when you come here, you have to take the test again, which I was like, damn, okay. But it turned out to not be true. But I'd learned some interesting things from it, because apparently now, you know how it used to be your hands go at 10 and 2. Apparently that's not the case anymore. It's 9 and 3 now.
Shanna let her license go expired and didn't realize it for like a year. So when she went to get her license removed, she had to take the whole test, the driving test, the written part, all of it all over again. And we learned a lot about it then too. Yeah, she had to learn to how to parallel park. That was not fun, but she made it. Maneuverability. It's the parallel parking.
It's not.
Shanna's home. She says hi.
Hi, Shan. I couldn't parallel park until all of a sudden one day I could. It's like the knowledge downloaded.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works. I'm pretty good at it, knock on wood. Now I won't be able to do it again for the rest of my life by bragging on it. But I did it yesterday. Was that when I got a haircut? Was yesterday? Thursday? Thursday. I got a haircut and I had to do it downtown BG. And I did it first try.
Well, I guess let's go have the day.
Are you going to go watch fireworks anywhere?
I don't know. I was looking into it. They're having their little street party here, but it just doesn't interest me because all they do is drink. You know, I'm not really morally opposed to it, but that's not for me. So I don't know what I would do. It's not like there's other shit to do. That's what they're doing is drinking.
Yeah.
Somewhere around dusk, hopefully a bad cover band will break out somewhere. That will be interesting.
Yeah.
And then I hope that they blow some things up, but I'll see if I can find something. And if nothing else, I definitely am going to go for a bike ride, I think.
Yeah. Good.
Oh, you remember you gave us, we did a photo assignment one week, but that was the week that we lost half of the episode because of the internet connection. Mm-hmm. So was it dramatic bitches?
Yes, that was the assignment.
All right. You want to tell the listeners about the photo assignments again? So,
long story short, when my mom passed away, the only way that I got myself out of bed for a long time was to go to this very special park near my house. It's a flower garden, and I was taking really fun pictures of all kinds of different flowers. And I would give myself these little photo assignments, like do something red today, do something yellow today, or do the rainbow this week. Or the one that I'm going to assign for us this week is the dramatic bitches one. Basically, if you look at nature, there are all kinds of dramatic bitches out there from different kinds of flowers. Like I remember, I'll try to find the photo if I can, but it was basically a black plant with like black lace and purple flowers. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I got one of those at the park. There's beautyberry. There's all kinds of other really cool things that you can do with that. And it's a lot of fun. It doesn't have to be a flowers. If you want to do this project, it doesn't have to be a flowers, just anything, in the world. But that's where I started, was doing pictures. That's not where I started. That's where with this kind of thing, I started in a photography studio a long time ago. But I just used my cell phone. I didn't even break out my good camera. I got some really beautiful shots from it, and it really makes you problem solve and be a creative thinker. So yeah. I highly recommend it.
I saw something on my last bike ride that seemed really dramatic to me, so I'm going to see if I can find it again and get a photo of it. And if you want to join us in our photo assignment for the week, go outside. Or if you don't want to go outside, if you see something out your window, let's just find something in the world that fits the dramatic bitches nature brief. And I'll post mine on the Facebook and the Instagram, and you can comment yours or post your own and tag us. What's the hashtag? Tag queernecks, and then the hashtag is dramatic bitches.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, America hasn't earned a nice birthday party, but we have. So go have some fun. Have some fun this week. By the time this episode comes out, the 4th will be over. We hope you had some fun. And we'll see you next time. So say hi to your mom and them.
Bye.